he was taken away. So the day before would have been on the August 29th, when you left the house, and defendant was supposed to watch him overnight. How was he acting on the day before when you left the house? Okay.
Why are you giving me the thumbs up?
I'm ready whenever you guys are
ready. Why do you have a bag over your shoulder and heading, what?
So soon, I thought you were gonna have more time.
I told you half an hour and it's been 33 minutes.
Very prompt, Judge.
Are you ready on yours?
Oh, we got it.
All right, very good. Let's talk. That's this one, right?
Yes.
Court calls the case of the people versus Gervais Drake.
Alexander, on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Ready, Judge. Court shall please first defend on behalf of Mr. Drake. Mr. Drake, please state your name for the record.
Gervais Drake. Thank you.
And Your Honor, today is the date and time set for preliminary examination. At this time, the people are unable to proceed as to counts 1 and 2 and would ask that count 3 be remanded to district court.
No objection, Judge.
All right, I will continue to the defendant's not guilty plea as to count 3. Counts 1 and 2 are dismissed. Set a pretrial date.
May 15th at 9 a.m.
May 15th, 2025, 9 a.m. before Judge Barr.
Judge, if I might, Mr. Drake has one request. Gosh.
Go ahead.
Mr. Drake is a over-the-road truck driver. He is currently on a GPS tether, and he is not allowed to leave the state. So he's not able to make as much money as he could make if he were able to leave the state. He could.
Right, money in Michigan.
The longer the trips, the more money you can make, Judge. So he could make up to.
Oh.
Yes, Judge.
Oh.
So. So he wants to have a chance at the $40 an hour as opposed to the $20 an hour. And so he wants to know if the court might be inclined to allow him to travel. He doesn't have any problem wearing the tether. He just needs to be able to travel if the court would allow.
Response from the people.
Your Honor, as long as he has a tether on, I would leave it in the discretion of the court.
So what states is he going to?
It'd be Chicago and Indiana.
Oh, just in the Midwest?
Yeah.
Oh. It's the only 2 states there.
And he plays.
Well,
Far
you're
as
saying
I-
Ohio,
Yeah, it's not.
Indiana, and Illinois.
It won't be Ohio.
But you have to
Oh,
travel.
you're not gonna go, well, okay, so you explain me, I'm not a trucker, but I'm trying to figure out how you get there without going through Ohio.
What states do you have to cross through to get where you're going is what he's asking.
Far as I know, those are the only 2 places I know for right now, information wise. I would put
I don't know what roads you're taking,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go by my map.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
'Cause we're gonna end up in trouble.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give you 3 states,
Yes, sir.
Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
that he can travel to those states for work purposes.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Good luck to you. Stay safe on the road.
The next court date.
Okay.
This is my number.
Bond will continue.
Okay. I have a copy with the 3 states. Let me go through.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay.
Who's on this one?
Yep.
Well, let's get the
Defendant out. Oh, damn. So
Yeah.
just one witness.
I spelled that wrong. I spelled Indiana wrong.
it's fine. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Can we find somebody fair in the approach, please? Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
Mr. Fisher, you have a great day.
Thank you, Judge.
Yep. Did, Judge Fresh uses pink. Purple. Yeah. Odie uses purple. And so, you think Fresh uses it? Okay. All right, that may be it. Oh. I was gonna call the white matter.
And I'm sorry, Judge, I'm looking for my client. He's been here all morning. I don't know if he went to lunch or what happened.
Yeah, la da 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 da.
Sorry, I'll call him again.
Which is, okay.
Sorry.
What?
Which prosecutor's on that?
Miss Duffy.
I think Miss McDuffie,
Okay.
so this is like now herding cats. I should have never left the bench. Because
I know where Miss McDuffie is, Your Honor. Okay.
What?
I know where Miss McDuffie is.
You do?
Yeah.
Tell her we're ready on her case. Well, I think. Because Miss Constantino just left because her client is somewhere.
He was in the restaurant.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Then he answered his phone. All right.
Miss McDuffie.
Sam's going to get her.
Oh, okay, cool. All dressed up and nowhere to go.
So, just that hard. I just need a prosecutor and a defendant. So, Mr. Bernstein, did your conversation with Miss McDuffie, did it make it sound like it was optional to get in here, or?
She was wrapping up something, Your Honor, and I conveyed, Your Honor,
Was she next door?
she was like in the hallway. Okay, maybe I didn't convey enough urgency. I got it.
Thank you.
I was going to.
Did you see her?
I think the big opinion. And
Back when I was growing up, when I was little, you never made you wait.
I'm ready, Judge.
I know, I
I need to, I guess I could ask to approach with counsel, or we just had something come up. That's why I was on the hallway. So I don't know if I could,
Yes, approach.
we could approach,
First,
or
or what do you want to?
or if I could either speak to counsel for just 1 second and update her on what it is, on where we are. That might be more efficient, and then we will be ready to go.
efficiency's out the door. Go ahead, talk to counsel.
Okay, thank you. You can step right up.
I had 3 cases and now Tana's gone. I know, right? No, it's okay. You don't have to go find her because I don't know that I have the other side of that in here. It's this. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you got up and you said, I'm gonna go find her. Zenda just sat there. Just, well, no, she didn't just sit there. She looked around. Oh, yeah, you're right. Now this is sour bird. This would happen. They would disappear. No. So definitely, yeah.
What is this? What's one?
This one is-
This
is a microphone.
Yeah.
You have white?
Right, okay.
Only 3 because this one, and this one are microphones.
Oh, Lord.
This one, you'll see it is just like it on the podium.
Oh, yeah.
This one feeds polygon system. So that if I turn this off, anybody that's in Zoom can't hear me.
Oh.
All right. think that if they're red, they'd be off, but. They're wrong. So. This one you have to hold, because that's for council. I'll be more than happy to call. Where, is there a defendant?
Yes, Mr. White.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he had come in. Court does call the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Davian White.
APA Deputy for the People.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Christina Costantino, we can come up here, I guess. Stand there. On behalf of Mr. White. Mr. White, can you please state your name for the record?
Davian White.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we were prepared to hold this exam. I do have several witnesses present, but I see that there's an issue with the charges essentially. So to make it concise, this constitutional with respect to the felony charge.
That's correct, Judge. With regards to the felony charge, the defense would be moving to dismiss. It's my understanding that people are unable to proceed with regards to that charge today, and that they do not have sufficient evidence to go forward with that.
And count 2 on the complaint is currently listed as assault and battery. That should have been aggravated assault the entire time based on the facts here. I heard the court say earlier that we cannot sort of directly remand on an added misdemeanor count. So if the court needs.
Well, there just needs to be a complaint
Okay.
because it comes. Okay.
I understand. Yeah. I don't know how fast I'll be able to get that generated, but our intent is to remand on an added count 3 of aggravated assault. Or added count 3 of aggravated assault.
Okay. So. And then 1 and 2 would be discussed?
Count 2 can, yes, it could follow or be dismissed either way. It'll.
Well, I know, I'm trying to figure out what you guys are trying to do.
I understand.
Because if you're gonna do an aggravated assault, then I'll need a complaint, just adding the aggravated assault.
Correct, Your Honor. I didn't want to move to dismiss count 3 if that was going to cause an issue in the float time between when I got the amended done. That's why I didn't know if it was going to affect it by moving to dismiss that now. I didn't want the case to basically go away inadvertently. So if count 3 needs to stay there administratively, I understand. And our amended complaint.
Okay, we could have had the complaint. I could have done it by hand by now.
Okay.
And so can we get that drafted up and just get over to us?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know if I can do it in the next, if it'll get typed up within the next 24 hours. That's why.
I prefer the count 2 assault and battery, to be honest. So, you know.
What do you mean you can't do it in 24 hours? Zenda did it in like 10 minutes.
I will ask her how she worked her magic.
Okay, why don't we just get a new complaint and then that way we can get everything taken care of. And it can, this case can go on to Judge Washington for happier times.
We'll do you right.
But let me pass it. Let's get it done. I'll break in whatever I have
Okay, thank you, Judge.
to get it done.
Thank you.
But I'll see how.
Okay, so. Warren Green is over there. This one's gonna be a remand down. And so all I have left is Mr. Kent. So who's on the other side of that case? Okay, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and Noah's Tana will be ready, so let's just start that. I would just apprise people that I may have to break in to take care of Miss Constantino so that she doesn't whine about it. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I know, I didn't mean to say, that was what you said. That is what you said. I know, exactly. And I said she is not that way. If you were gonna take your own note.
Is it going to that's part it's going like health witnesses or whatever?
Court does call the case of the People's State of Michigan versus Darrell Hicks.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Marie Canha, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with on behalf of Mr. Hicks, who is approaching and is seated now.
Thank you, sir. All right, date and time, relatively speaking, for the preliminary examination. Are the parties ready?
Ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. People call Deja Yargi McCoy.
Come forward and be sworn.
Before you take a seat, raise your right hand. Solemnly swear in front of the testimony about the Have a seat. State, spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Can you spell that for the record, please? Yes, please.
DEACIJAH. McCoy, MCCOY,
Okay, thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. And am I pronouncing Deja? Is that right? Okay, thank you. May I call you Deja?
Yes.
Thank you. Deja, I'm going to be asking you some questions, and after I'm done asking you questions, defense counsel might ask you some questions, okay? If anything is unclear to you, if you're not hearing what we're saying, if you're not understanding what we're saying, please let us know, okay? When you're answering questions, sometimes we get used to saying instead of yes or no. Please try to say yes or no as much as you can, okay? Thank you. Deja, do you know someone by the name of Darrell Hicks Sr.?
Yes.
Who is he to you? And you see him in court today. Could you let the court know where he's seated and describe an item of clothing he's wearing? Can you describe what he's wearing, please? Thank you. Your Honor, may the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant?
Record shall so reflect as that appears.
Thank you. And you said he's your son's father. Are you currently in a relationship? And your child, your son that you have in common, what's his name? And what was his date of birth?
July 13, 2002.
And is he currently alive? Did Darrell Jr. have a normal birth?
Yes.
Any concerns with him or you during the birth with Junior? Did Darrell Jr. have any well visits with a pediatrician?
Yes.
Okay. Were there any concerns with during those well visits? Okay. I'm going to ask you some questions about what happened late August, early September of 2024.
Okay.
It's been a while since then. So if I'm asking you a question or if the defense attorney is asking you a question and you don't remember the answer, please let us know that you don't remember, okay? Thank you. Where did you live in August of 2024? And is that Ypsilanti Township, State of Michigan, Washington County? Who lived there with you?
My two sons.
And was one of those Darrell Hicks Jr.? How old was he in August of 2024? And is Darrell Hicks Sr. the father of Darrell Hicks Jr.?
Yes.
How often would Darrell Hicks Sr. see Darrell Jr.?
Often.
How often would you say around that time in fall of 2024?
You said close to every day?
Yeah.
And on August 29th of 2024, did you coordinate with the defendant to have him watch Darrell Jr.?
Yes.
And did he come over to do that?
Yes.
And he came over to the house you described you living at in August. And what was the purpose of him coming to watch Darrell Jr.? And so on August 29th, what time did you leave the house?
30 p.m.
And was the plan to have Darrell Hicks Sr. watch Darrell Jr. overnight into August 30th of 2024? When you left the house on August 29th, how was Darrell Jr. acting at the time?
I'm not mistaken, 29th.
Okay, so I know there's some confusion about the dates. So what we're talking about is the day before ambulance had to be called and he was taken away. So the day before would have been on the August 29th. When you left the house and defendant was supposed to watch him overnight. How was he acting on the day before when you left the house? Okay. Was he eating okay throughout that day? Anything that stood out to you that was concerning regarding his body movements or how he was acting? So you said you left the house August 29th, and it was sometime in the evening. When's the next time you physically came back to the house?
The next day.
Okay. And around what time approximately did you come back to the house?
I would say 4:30, 4:45.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Before you came back to the house, so between when you left on August 29th and when you came back on August 30th, did you have any communication with the defendant?
Yes.
Okay. Was that text message, phone calls?
FaceTime.
Was anything brought up to you as a concern of how Darrell Jr. was doing? From when you left on August 29th to when you came back on August 30th, as far as you know, was there anyone else that came to the house?
No.
So defendant was watching Darrell Jr. Was your other son present at times during that time frame? Okay. On August 30th, before you came home, was there someone else there for a brief period of time? Do you remember having a visit by someone who came to check?
The day before.
Not the day before, I'm sorry, I'm confusing you. So you left on August 29th, you came back on August 30th. Before you came back on August 30th.
Yes, the pediatrician.
Okay. Was it a pediatrician or was it a different?
Social work. I know it's the University of Michigan, they do home visits.
Okay. And do you think it was a pediatrician or social worker?
Social work.
And do you know approximately when she was there?
12 p.m.
On August 30th, the day that you came back?
But she came at 11.
11, around 11. Did you ever receive any information about anyone else being at the house? Okay. So you returned on in the afternoon of August 30th. What did you observe when you came home?
When you say observe,
Sure, yeah. So when you came home on August 30th, when you came into the home, did you see anything? Did anything stand out to you?
my son was in my
And when you say your son, are you talking about Darrell Jr.? Okay. He was in your room? Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It happens. So you come home and how do you know that Darrell Jr. was in your room?
Because he wasn't with his dad.
Okay, and where was his dad? And just to be extra annoying, when we're saying his dad, you're referring to defendant? Okay. So defendant was in the living room. Darrell Jr. was in your room.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you do, if anything, when you got home?
Came upstairs and of course, that's how I noticed my son was. And I went in my room to my child.
Okay. And what did you notice about your child?
He was sleeping and looked to me.
Okay. Was there anything when you saw Darrell Jr., was there anything that caused concern? So on August 30th, when you came home, defendant was in the living room. Darrell Jr. was in your room.
Yes.
What brought you home at that time? What made you come home at that time?
I miss my kid coming out all night. It was kind of like I miss my kid.
Okay. So when you come home, Darrell Jr. is in your room. Was there something that you noticed about Darrell Jr. that caused you concern?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the court about that, please?
Picked you up and like from his bottom and he started to smile near my waist. And when I reached under his head, his eyes like froze in back his head. And it's like he was changing color. Like he was shaking his arms like up, tense, a lot. When I tried to touch his arm, my brother had a silent seizure in my siblings, so I know what a seizure looked like when it's happening. So I could tell he was seizing.
So he was having a seizure. Okay. And you kind of showed your arm like moving back and forth pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Is that what Darrell Jr.'s arm was doing?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said it kind of tensed up.
Like, yes, it's called like tense.
Okay. So at that point, you knew he was having a seizure.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next thing that you did, if anything?
Call 911. And of course, as Darrell Senior, what happened?
Okay. And did he say anything about what had happened? Did you have any, how were you feeling as this was happening? Okay. What were you confused about?
Because I didn't leave.
So when you left him on August 29th, his arm wasn't twitching, it wasn't tense.
He was, he was
Do you remember if defendant Darrell Hicks Sr. Had communicated with you throughout the day on August 30th that Darrell Jr. wasn't eating properly or keeping food down?
no.
Would it help refresh your recollection if you saw your statement to police? Okay. Let me have one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, if I may approach, this is page 6 out of 15. It's a supplemental report number 3. I'm showing it to counsel before. May I approach? Thank you. I'm gonna have you just read that. Don't read it out loud, just to yourself, and then when you're done reading it, let us know. That help refresh your recollection? Thank you. So I'll ask it again. Did the defendant communicate to you that there were concerns about Darrell Jr. throughout the day of August 30th?
Yes.
Okay, and what were those concerns?
That he wasn't eating communication.
Okay. Thank you. Your Honor, may I approach the retrieve
Yes.
report? Thank you. Did you have, when you came home and saw your baby and you explained already Darrell Jr. had some clear signs of a seizure, do you remember saying anything to the defendant?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you say? You asked him what he did? Did he respond to you?
Yes.
Question. Deja, from when Darrell Jr. was born until he passed, other than this incident, was he involved in any like a car crash or anything, any accidents, anything like that? Thank you. Nothing further at this point, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Deja, may I call you that as well? My name is Sam Bernstein. I'm Mr. Hicks's attorney. I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, just like Ms. Tanhut. Some of them might be similar to what you've already answered. It's just part of the process, okay? So you and Mr. Hicks had like a co-parenting relationship, and could you describe that for me, please? You said you flipped days, like you alternated who took care of Darrell Jr. on which day, like you switched over every other day. Okay. And I think your testimony was that he saw Darrell Jr. like close to every day.
Yes.
Would you describe him as being involved in Darrell Jr.'s life?
Yes.
Did Mr. Hicks know Darrell Jr.'s routines? Did he know like when the baby slept, when the baby had a bottle?
Object, Your Honor. She can't testify as to what Mr. Hicks knew, so maybe if the question can be repeated.
Did you observe Mr. Hicks? Like, did you see with your own eyes him care for the child?
Yes.
And based on what he was doing, did it look like he, knew when the baby slept? Did he know how to change the baby's diaper?
No, he had to learn.
Sure. No, I know. We have to learn how to change a diaper, but did he eventually learn how to change a diaper? And did you see him give the baby baths? And did he feed the baby as well? Did you see Mr. Hicks knowing like what Darrell Jr. would eat as far as the bottles go? Were you comfortable with Mr. Hicks watching the baby?
Yes.
Excuse me one more. Alan, can you check that hallway and tell us if they need to quiet down? Is it over there? Thank you. Go ahead.
Feels like the PD's judge. I mean, what about what Mr. Hicks was doing that made you comfortable with him watching Darrell Jr.? Had you ever seen Mr. Hicks handle his son in like a rough manner? Did you ever see Mr. Hicks like yell or shout at the baby? You have a son named Caden as well, and Caden was like 4 years old at the time. And did Mr. Hicks supervise Caden as well sometimes? Did Mr. Hicks have like something of a relationship with Caden too? They knew each other somewhat, yeah. Would Mr. Hicks supervise the baby and Caden at the same time?
Majority no.
Majority no? Okay, but sometimes? How often would they do that? Okay. And obviously, Caden was with Mr. Hicks for a little bit the evening that you went out, right? How long was Mr. Hicks watching Caden and Darrell Jr. that evening that you went out? Okay, so Caden was there the whole night? The next morning, you're still out, there's a social worker that comes over, right?
Yes.
You said the social worker came over at 11 or noon? She came at 11. Between the time that you left that evening and the next morning, you had communicated with Mr. Hicks?
Yeah.
What types of communications did you guys have?
Before we went to bed, and he was putting him in the bed
Do you know how many FaceTimes did you guys have?
that day.
Well, between the time that you left and when, and 11 o'clock the next day?
Two, one before bed and then one with the, social worker.
FaceTime with the social worker?
Yes.
Okay. Did Mr. Hicks send you communications outside of FaceTime? Were there any like phone calls or text messages? How many times did you guys call? Sure, that's fair. I know it's a long time ago. Do you remember what you guys talked about on those phone calls?
And the next day was with the social worker. And we talked.
So the next morning after the overnight and before the social worker came over, did you talk with Mr. Hicks that morning? Did you talk with Mr. Hicks before the social worker came over? When's the first time that you heard about the arm twitching? You're saying the first time that you heard about the arm twitching is when you found your son later the afternoon that you came home? Did you talk about the arm twitching with the social worker? After what? Would it help refresh your memory if you like saw the police report where you talked to the detective about all this, like you did with Miss Tanha? Okay. That's 8, but it might be like 6 to 8.
Did you need a break, ma'am? Okay, all right. Okay, go ahead. You can step down. All right.
Now, we'll take a break in this case. You guys let me know when she's.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
You're gonna do the other cases, Your Honor, do you think?
Yes, I'm gonna do something else, so we can take him back. I need Miss McDuffie. Yes. No, he's not. No, I know. Can we find Miss McDuffie and? Oh, there she is. Okay. He was in the other courtroom, right? That's right.
Check on Alex.
Pardon?
You want me to go check on Alex?
No, whenever, because it's not necessary. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right, court does recall the case of the People versus Cadavian White.
If you're Rich McDuffie for the people.
Christina Costantino on behalf of Mr. White, who is approaching. Mr. White, can you please state your name for the record?
Cadavian White.
All right, thank you. All right, I now have before me an amended complaint that is regarding the charge of aggravated assault, and you waive its reading and your client stands muted.
Yes, Judge, we do waive its reading, and he wishes to stand mute.
Defendant standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea, or that his plea is not guilty. As I understand, counts 1 and 2 will be discussed at this time, and this will proceed on count 3.
Correct.
Yes, Judge.
Dismiss counts 1 and 2, proceed on count 3. I'll set a pretrial date of June 12th, 2025, 10 a.m.
Yes, sir.
10 a.m. before Judge Washington. Bond with its conditions will continue.
Thank you very much, Judge.
All right.
Have a good rest of your day.
You do the same. Always a pleasure. All right. What do we, that other one? We have to wait on an attorney. We'll wait for them to let us know we're ready, and then I'm going to take a brief recess. Court is standing recess. All rise. Did she say she wanted somewhere? Good.
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. Hicks, witnesses on the stand. Ma'am, I just need to remind you, and I'm sure you know, you're still under oath. All right. And if you, even though it seemed like you just did, but if you need another break, you just say so. All right, and we'll do what we can, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. To those that are in the courtroom, after I had left the bench, there were certain reports to me. I'm not going to get into all the details for who did what along those lines, but I'm just going to say this: proper decorum while they are in this courtroom. There will not be any yelling back and forth or going at each other in any way. If I get any hint of that, I will have you removed, and I will make no bones about it. This is the only warning that you're going to get. This is tough enough, quite frankly, for this witness to testify to, regardless of where you stand on this. And that this other stuff is just not needed, and I will not be having. So I hope everybody understands that, understands my admonition to you, and understand that I will enforce. Mr. Bernstein, you may continue your cross-examination.
Yeah, I was asking you about the first time that you heard about Daryl Jr. shaking or twitching. And I think where we left off, I think you had said that the first time you noticed twitching or shaking was when you came home that day.
Yeah.
And I wanted to refresh your memory. Is it possible that you spoke with Mr. Hicks and the social worker about the twitching at the time of the home visit?
No, I didn't.
Would it help refresh your memory if I showed you what you said to the police when you spoke with them? Your Honor, may I approach after showing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
Okay, I have to get it back from you though real quick. Sorry, I'll refresh my memory. Okay, so after looking at that, do you have a better recollection of the timeline there?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so do you remember a conversation with Mr. Hicks and the social worker about twitching and shaking?
Clarify, it wasn't a conversation with the social worker present, it was just me and him on the phone. She wasn't there.
Okay, so you had a conversation with Mr. Hicks on the phone about the shaking? When was that?
That was like, literally, she was walking out of the door and he called. She wasn't present to clarify that it was his nerves. That's what he told me.
I mean, did you tell the officers that you got a call from Senior and the at-home nurse stating that Junior was shaking?
No.
Did you tell the detectives that, that you were told that Junior's arms were twitching? Do you remember having a conversation with the social worker that you were told that it is normal for babies to do that for the development of their nervous system? Do you remember telling the detective when you spoke with him that in speaking with the social worker, you were told that it's normal for babies to do that for their development of their nervous system?
Yes.
Okay, so there was a conversation with the at-home nurse about the twitching.
After the fact, all of this occurred and going to the hospital. Yes, that was discussed.
Did you discuss it? Did you discuss it with the at-home nurse?
Not that day, no.
Did you have a FaceTime conversation with the at-home social worker? Okay. Did you have any
You said
conversation?
at-home nurse, and then you said social worker. Are we talking about the same person?
Yeah.
We are, Your Honor.
I just want to make sure his question is right.
She's technically a social worker, but everyone in the report calls her a nurse, so it's just a little
That's
confusing.
fine. I just want to make sure that we're talking about the same person.
Okay, so you don't remember having any conversation with Mr. Hicks and the social worker together about twitching? You don't remember? Is it possible that you did? Is it your testimony that the first time you heard about the twitching was Mr. Hicks telling you later after the child went to the hospital?
Yes.
You testified earlier when Ms. Tanho was asking you questions that you went home because you wanted to see your baby because you missed him. Is it possible that you went home because you were concerned about some twitching and shaking? Did you talk to the detective about, I kept hearing my baby crying in the back of my mind and felt that I needed to go home and check on him? Okay, so why did you tell the detective that?
Because I believe in God and I feel that God was calling me to go get my son. I don't know why, but randomly, yes, it happened.
Okay. Is it possible that you said those things because you were told by people that your baby was twitching and that you needed to go check on him?
No, I was never told he was twitching or nothing.
When you spoke with Detective Yeager, you said that you didn't have any concerns that Mr. Hicks did anything to the baby? You didn't say that? Did you tell the detective when you spoke with him that you did not have any concerns about Mr. Hicks doing anything to the baby? You didn't say that?
Wait, when you say concern, you mean like in a moment of something happening to my son? No.
Okay.
I wasn't concerned. That's his father.
I want to go back to, you stated, I had asked you about talking with the detective and talking about some of the things that you said about what might or might not be normal for babies to do. Did you read that when I gave you the police report? No?
I'm all over the place, trying to take everything.
I understand. Did you said you want me to refresh your memory?
Yes.
Okay, let me just show. Your Honor, could I approach?
You may.
We're almost done. So look, I'm not trying to like beat you up here. We're just trying to figure out the timeline of everything, okay? I mean, after reading it, does that help refresh your memory that you may have had a conversation with the at-home nurse and Mr. Hicks about the baby twitching or shaking and whether it's normal or not?
All I remember is he did call me and she had got there. He hung up what she talked to me. So whatever him and the nurse discussed, I wasn't on the phone, is what I'm telling you. She never said nothing to me. It came out of the real senior mouth, what she said.
So when you told the detective that you got a call from Senior and the at-home nurse, which were your words, stating that Junior was shaking, that what you said is false?
No, I'm gonna.
Oh, is it?
If we can just, I think there's some confusion, so.
There
if we
is.
rephrase,
Hold on a second. Go ahead, stand there. Go ahead.
If Mr. Bernstein could kindly rephrase, I think we could get, and kind of get straight to the point. asking a direct question, maybe
Yeah.
that would.
All right, and if we could, Mr. Proctor, because I think some of the questions also can have double answers, and I don't know if she's answering what's contained within the question or the question itself, which is making it difficult for me to follow.
Well, let me just,
Sorry, and while I'm objecting, there's been a lot of hearsay and I've kind of let it go to
Yes.
develop testimony, but please be mindful.
well, I'm not offering anything for the truth of the matter. I'm just figuring out the general timeline. Let me just phrase it like this, and maybe this will cut it off. Did you have any conversation whatsoever with the at-home social worker that day? Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I don't question.
Any redirect?
Deja, are you doing okay to keep going for a little bit? Deja, how do you feel about being here today to testify?
Angry and betrayed.
This was fall of last year. Do you feel like you have a clear memory of everything or something's a little fuzzy?
Some things are fuzzy.
Defense counsel asked about defendant watching your son Caden sometimes as well.
Yes,
Before this incident, were you comfortable with him watching Caden?
yes.
Had Caden indicated to you in any way that he was uncomfortable with defendant before this incident?
Hold on, what? Did Caden say something? My objection is hearsay, Your Honor.
It's going to be offered for the state of mind. I'm going to allow it.
Thank you. Do you want me to ask the question again? I know it's a lot. Had Caden in any way indicated to you that he was concerned about defendant being around him or watching him before this incident?
No.
Did that change after this incident?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. I just have one question for you. Man, when you came home, you said that you went into your bedroom, right? Where was the baby at that point?
On my bed and his body pillow.
Got it. Okay. So it was on your bed and, okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right. Any questions based on the court's question?
Your Honor.
All right. Ma'am, you may step. Thank you.
Your Honor, may this witness be excused?
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
This witness is excused.
People call Dr. Carla Parkin Joseph listening.
Doctor, if you could please come forward and be sworn.
Take a seat, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
See, state, spell your first and last name for the record, please.
My name is Carla Parkin Joseph, CARLA PARKIN-JOSEPH.
You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Dr. Parkin Joseph, could you please tell the court where you're employed and in what capacity?
I'm employed at Michigan Medicine, the CS Mott Children's Hospital. I am a child abuse pediatrician on the child protection team there.
Thank you. Are you a licensed physician in the state of Michigan?
Yes, I am.
And are you board certified?
Yes, I am.
Could you briefly tell the court about your educational and training history?
Yes, after my undergraduate studies, I completed my medical degree at the University of Toledo College of Medicine in 2010. From there, I went on to my general pediatric residency training at the Children's Hospital of Michigan in downtown Detroit. I stayed an additional year after that 3-year training program as a chief general pediatrics resident, and then continued my training in Philadelphia from 2014 to 2017. And that was for my fellowship training in child abuse pediatrics. I completed that in 2017 and then came back to Michigan and have been at my position at the University of Michigan since 2017.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Before I do so, I'm showing defense counsel Dr. Parkin Joseph's CV, which has been sent to him already. Doctor, I'm gonna hand you what's been marked as people's proposed exhibit number 1. Could you please tell the court what that is?
This is my curriculum vitae.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this point, I would move for admission of the doctor's curriculum vitae.
Objection to that.
All right. Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I publish it to the court?
Yes.